What is up, docs? Ryan G here, founder of BlowUp Local and People Magazine's Sexiest Man Alive. So yesterday I met the funniest chiropractor I've probably ever met. This guy is a trip. So he sent me a text message and he goes, Ryan Thomas, who the hell is this guy? He's like, well, if you know Dr. Matt and Dr. Justin, you must not be that bad. And he's like, I want to talk to you about marketing. And I was like, oh, okay. So I sent him a text back and I said, what can I get you information on? And he goes, how the hell would I know? If I knew what I needed information on, I wouldn't contact you. And I just burst out laughing. It was so funny, man. So funny. And I was like, okay. So he said, I want to schedule a call. So I said, okay, no problem. So I sent him my Calendly link to schedule an appointment. And he goes, cookies? I don't know how to use a cookie. He's like, I don't do this technology crap. Schedule the call for today at 4:45. And I was like, okay, no problem. So he's like, send me an email. So I sent him the email. Like at 4:45, so an hour early, he sends me what did he do? He called me. So I answered the phone and I said, hey, this is Ryan. And he goes, hey, did you send that crap to me? Like, who is this guy, man, right? And I said, what crap would that be? And he goes, the crap. Did you send the crap? Did you send the crap to my email? And I was like, do you mean the Zoom link? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, yes, sir. I sent it when we first talked. And he's like, all right. And then he hangs up. And he's like, get on there. I'm going to meet you on right now. And I'm like, okay. So again, like, you're hilarious, dude. So I get on Zoom. And his camera won't work. I said, like, hi, I can hear you, but I can't see you. And he's like, I don't know. And I'm like, all right, so whatever. I don't know how to fix your camera. You are clearly old and don't know how to fix it. And we're like talking and stuff. And what did he say? What did he call me? He called me a name. I can't look at it right now because I'm driving. Oh, he called me a schmuck. So as we're talking, he goes, I need schmucks like you. And I was like, okay, why do you need schmucks like me? And he said, because I'm old, I'm crusty, I don't understand this marketing stuff. He's like, I just run an ad in the newspaper. That's all I know how to do. But I need schmucks like you that understand the new way of doing things. And I'm like, okay, it's probably a better word to call me instead of a schmuck, but that's fine. So you can call me an expert. You can call me, whatever. But I'll take schmuck. That's fine, I guess. So I said to him, I was like, hey, listen, you are a trip. Like, you're hilarious, man. You're cracking me up here. I said, are you like this with your patients? And he said, oh, yeah, I'm like this every day, everywhere. He said, Ryan, last year I only made $784,000. And I was like, oh, yeah, sounds like a problem. Sounds like you're in a real recession here. And he goes, yeah, I only made $484,000 or something like that. And I only work 24 hours a week. And I was like, oh, that sounds pretty awesome. And he's like, yeah, I don't care about the money. He said, I've already made the money. I just like having fun. I like hanging out with the patients. And I really just enjoy having fun with people. And I said, okay, well, that's amazing, right? I mean, isn't that what everybody wants to do? Like, I've never wanted to retire. I think retirement sounds terrible to me. But I do want to do stuff that I love doing, right? So if this is what you love, keep doing it. I think it's amazing. So I said, how do your patients respond to your personality? And he said, they love it. He said, I had a guy today, 21 years old, as he was leaving. He goes, hey, doc, do you always have this much fun? Are you always like this? And he just said, yeah, I mean, I'm old. Life is too short. I don't care anymore. And I'm just trying to have fun. And you either like it or you don't. And if you don't like it, go somewhere else, kind of thing. And the reason I'm sharing this with you is a principle called the attractive character. So what I've noticed working with chiropractors is that you guys put on this persona of I've got to be a professional. I'm a doctor. And my name is Dr. Benjamin, and I've got to be super professional. And no, don't show any tattoos. Don't share any jokes, because I'm just afraid that people are going to see who I actually am. But when you do that, you're making yourself vanilla. You're making yourself boring. And frankly, you're making yourself the same as every other chiropractor who is out there, because that's what everybody does. They're all the same generic vanilla crap. And you don't stand out. You don't stand out from the crowd. In fact, it's called the mainstream. So you are mainstream, which nobody recognizes you. And then the opposite of the mainstream is called the extreme. And we don't want to be an extreme either. So the extremists, we all know it. Like, we live in America in 2024. We all know what the extremists are. The extremists are the lunatics, these protesters, they have views that are so wild and insane that when you hear it, you're like, you're an idiot. And I do not want to be near you because you're an idiot. So we don't want to be mainstream. We don't want to be an extremist, sharing conspiracy theories and all that stuff. We want to be kind of in the middle, which is called, oh my gosh, how am I forgetting this right now? It's not polar. I'm going to think of it in a minute. We want to be in the middle, and we want to share things that are just odd and just different enough that that people are like, oh, I've never heard that before. In fact, one of the number one things that everybody says to me when I do a strategy call is they say, Ryan, I have never heard somebody talk about the things that you're talking about. Consistently, I hear that from people during a strategy call, which, if you want to book a strategy call with me, 813-789-9868. But they say, as I go through it, they go, Ryan, I've never heard somebody say the things that you're saying about marketing. Dr. Andy Barlow said, Ryan, I've never met a person like you before. So that is called the attractive character. And when you can learn to just be yourself, positives and negatives, right? Like, I have a lot of negative things about me, and those are called character flaws. So while we're on the topic, let's just run through my character flaws. And some of them could just be things that will repel you, right? So one of them is I cuss. I am trying to get better, but it's, whatever. So I do cuss, and if you have a problem with that, then I'm probably not the right person. I am very bold and very blunt. And if you're doing something that sucks, I'm going to tell you, like, this is not a good idea. This really sucks. We need to stop. So I'm very bold, very blunt. I am very direct. I am not interested in building rapport. Okay? So if we get on a strategy call together, I am not going to ask you how the weather is in Denver, because I don't care. I'm not going to ask you about how your kids are, because that's not why we're on the call. Your time is valuable. My time is valuable. Let's get to identifying the problem that you have with marketing so that we can fix it and we can all move on, right? Like, I'm just not interested. And I had a guy complain a couple months ago, and he's like, I don't feel like Ryan built enough rapport with me. Awesome, because I'm not your freaking counselor, right? If you are looking for a best friend, I don't know, go to match.com or something, but I'm not that, I'm not here to be your best friend, buddy. Tell me what your problem is with marketing. I'm going to help you identify a solution, and then we're going to help execute that solution. That's what I'm here for. I'm not your life coach. So there's that. And what else are some negatives with me? There's a lot. I am hyper focused, okay? I get stuff done extremely fast, which I know sounds like a good thing, but it actually sometimes can stress people out, because I'm just like, boom, I need this, boom, I need this, boom, I need this. And it can sometimes just be a little much. I carry a gun. Everywhere that I go, I carry a gun with me if I'm legally allowed to carry it. I'm a Christian, and I believe in real Christian values. And if that bothers you, go somewhere else, right? What else? Yeah, love God, love my family. I'm hardcore conservative. I have a lot of friends that are Democrats, and I can be friends with you as long as you're not a crazy. But if you're a crazy, we're probably not going to get along. So anyway, those are just some of the character flaws that I have. And by putting that out there, some of you probably already left the podcast because you're thinking, well, I hate this guy. I hate conservatives. I hate people that own guns. I hate people that are blunt. So you just leave. Perfect. That's amazing. because we're not going to get along anyway, right? But then some of you are listening and you're like, oh, dude, I like this guy. Like, this guy's awesome, right? Like, I love guns. I love bluntness. You know, I'm a military veteran. I'm a military veteran. All that cool stuff, right? So now we've got those connection points. So some people are pushed away. Some people are drawn close to me. That's what we're trying to do in marketing. We're trying to attract the people that you want and push away the people that you don't want. That's ultimately what marketing is. Oh, polarity is what I was talking about. So polarity is a word I couldn't think of a minute ago. So when you have that polar and polarity, you're pulling the people towards you that you want and you're pushing away the people that you don't want, kind of like a magnet, right? What that does for you as a chiropractor is it allows you to stand out from the crowd and create a truly unique selling proposition. So what do I mean by a unique selling proposition? That's something that makes you and your product or service unique in the marketplace. Nobody can copy you or your personality. Nobody. If you're just being yourself and being honest, right? Nobody can copy you. And, you know, with our firearms training business, people fly. I have a guy who drives from Miami up to Tampa to shoot a gun with me for 1 hour. So he drives 4 hours from Miami to Tampa, shoots a gun with me for 1 hour, and then he drives back to Miami, which is 4 hours. So that's in a 9-hour day, 8 hours is driving, and that costs him hundreds of dollars just to come see me in gas, right? He doesn't do that because I'm a good gun instructor. He doesn't do that because I have a system for teaching people how to shoot that other people don't have, right? He does it because he wants to hang out with me. Consistently, I have people drive from Orlando, Daytona. I had somebody recently fly from Texas just to shoot with me. So that stuff happens because they've connected with my personality on the internet. And then they're like, I like this guy. Like, I want to go hang out with this guy, right? In fact, I did an offer one time to go to dinner with me, and I charged, it was $250 just to go to dinner. I had a bunch of people sign up just to go to dinner with me. They paid for their own dinner. I didn't pay for it. But just to have me at the table, pay $250 for me to come to a dinner and you get to talk to me. That doesn't happen. That happens because they like me and they have a connection with me, right? So one of the things I hear from chiropractors a lot during the marketing strategy call is they say, Ryan, there's too much competition. Too much competition in my area, and I just can't stand out. The reason you can't stand out is you're not being an attractive character. You're not being like that doc that I shared in the beginning, where you're just being yourself. Like, anybody that visits that doc or talks to him, you either love it or you hate it, right? But the people that love it, do you ever think, if they got a postcard in the mail for a chiropractor who was $10 cheaper for an adjustment, do you think they're going to, even $20 or $50 cheaper, do you think they're going to go with that cheaper chiropractor? I never would. Hell no, because I love this guy. This guy is hilarious. Like, it's like a comedy show, just going to his practice every single time, right? Because marketing is about getting your perfect patient to fall in love with you as the provider instead of choosing you because you have the lowest price. And frankly, that's what most chiropractors are doing, which is why you're struggling, is that you're competing on the basis of price, or you're competing on the fact that you have a shockwave. Woo! I have a shockwave. Shockwave is going to help you fix your problem. Shockwave, right? Nobody cares. Instead, why don't you make some funny videos with that shockwave? Why don't you show your personality being weird and being goofy, being cringy? You know, people don't want to be cringy. The cringy is I have 6 kids, right? And Tiffany. So if you recorded the stuff that we do, like when we're just being a silly family member or whatever, like that's cringy. If people saw it on the internet, they'd say it's cringy. But that's the stuff that is viral. That's the stuff that allows people to build a really deep emotional connection with you. It's because it's cringy. It's because most people don't have the balls to do that because they're too afraid of, what is everybody going to think? Oh, what are they going to think if I do a dance with my daughter? Yeah, I don't care what anybody thinks, right? Because I don't value your opinion like that. I'm going to do what I want to do. And if you don't like it, go somewhere else. Stop watching. Scroll past the video. I don't care, right? But that's the power of being the attractive character, is that it repels the worst customers, the ones that you don't want. In fact, it's really funny. There's a practice management group who referred somebody to me who was interested in some marketing stuff. So I got on a call with this doc and I started going through my deal and, trying to help. And then the call was actually really good. So I hung up and then got a text message from the owner of this practice management group. And he's like, I heard that, Dr. Spastic is what I'll call him. Or no, let's call him Dr. Gemstone, because this was like a doctor who believed in little stones have magic powers or something. So, Dr. Gemstone wasn't happy with your call, and I was like, why? What happened? And he's like, well, he felt like he didn't build enough rapport. He felt like all you did was point out mistakes that he was currently making. And I was like, isn't that what he was asking me to do? Hey, my marketing's not working, but by the way, when you show me how my marketing is not working, don't tell me that it's bad. Don't tell me that that's not working, whatever. And I said, listen, the owner of the practice management group, my personality. Okay. I said, if you know that this guy is a delicate little flower, then you should not send delicate little flowers to me, because I'm not the right person. Okay. If people are that hypersensitive that when I say to them, hey, listen, doc, I know you're having a hard time getting new patients. One of the reasons you might be struggling to get new patients is because you're targeting people who are 65 and older, and the font on your website is like a 0.6. I can barely read it, and I'm 40 years old. Somebody who's 65 cannot read this. So one of the first things I would do is I would increase the size of the font so it's easier to read. If you're so weak as a person that you can't handle me pointing that out, I can't help you anyway, right? And the doctors were like, the owner of the practice management group is like, yeah, you're right, Ryan. We should have known that he's not the right person for you. And I said, perfect. But what's interesting? We got another lead from that practice management group a couple days ago. And this woman, Heather, they said to her, hey, listen, you're going to love Ryan because Ryan is very blunt, just like you. And she said, perfect. Straight to the point. Let's just get after it. Awesome, dude. I love Heather. I think she's going to do great. I think we're going to crush it together because our personalities fit together. They work, right? So, but that's the power of just being yourself. All the warts, the ugliness and all. Some people are going to love it. Some people are going to hate it. And the people that love it are going to stick with you forever. The people that hate it, we don't want to work with them anyway. So it's win-win, win-win all around. So if you're a chiropractor who wants to attract more new patients into your practice and eliminate the constant ups and downs so that you can have a consistent flow of new patients, shoot me a text message at 813-789-9868. That's 813-789-9868. And we will schedule a call. We'll jump on Zoom. I'll learn kind of about some of the challenges that you have. And we'll see if maybe the chiropractic marketing system can help you achieve your goals. So that's all I've got for today, docs. And until next time, keep moving forward.